Hello and welcome to Dingoes Ate My Podcast. I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.
And this week we're discussing the episode Sacrifice. Alrighty, so this episode originally aired April 23rd, 2003, attracting approximately 3.71 million viewers. So let us start off with the number one song in America, Dave. What is it?
Which I'm guessing, again, there's nothing immediately coming to mind, so probably just going with the safest bet of it's still probably 50 Cent in the club.
It is still Into Club by 50 Cent. Again, I don't know why, I don't understand, but it apparently is.
Yeah, it was just that kind of time period around then. It was just complete club scene, and everyone and their grandma kind of loved all the particular stuff. It's possibly a decent reason why he got as popular he was.
Yeah, but it's not a good song. Like, I listened to it earlier today, and it's not a good song.
Well, it's a kind of a case of it was a song that did what it needed to do, which was not be emotionally gripping or have good lyrics or any sort of thing. It's a thing to play inside of a dance club for people to dance to and do all the particular things they do in a dance club.
I guess, but it's not very good. Anyway, moving on to the number one movie in America this week, Dave. Any idea what it could be?
Movie wise. Uh, I'm not too sure if anger management from last week would be able to hold on that much with what else was going on, but nothing else is immediately coming to mind around the spring of that year.
You would be correct. It is anger management. So its opening weekend, it did 42.2 million. This weekend, it dropped to just over 25 million, but still enough to hold the top spot.
Yeah, other competition in the theater wasn't exactly as ground gripping as it probably was. Or have its star power, I suppose, would be more so
Oh, but
the
like,
case.
and I know we say this every year we talk about this, but this was a hell of a summer. Like, they're lucky this movie. They're really lucky they released this in April and not like in June,
Yeah,
because it would have got
I think
destroyed
in
in June.
cases like who knows with time period or with releases and whatnot how well something's gonna do or how fast it's gonna get absolutely trampled by something.
I'm just saying this is a massive summer with a bunch of massive movies, so this was a wise decision to release this in spring.
Hmm.
And we will now move on to video games, which I don't think this has ever happened before. We don't actually have any.
Huh.
There's no notable releases this week. There'll be a bunch well, actually there'll be like two next week, and then like over the summer there's a ton of stuff, but it's kind of slowed down right now.
I guess it happens.
It definitely does. Alrighty. So, sacrifice. Alrighty. Angel shuts the door on Connor, letting the others escape through the fire escape. Uh, Angel then barges out into the hall and begins to pound Connor into unconsciousness. As Fred and the others bring the car around to the street, Angel and Connor fly out of the window. Angel gets in the car and orders Wesley to drive, even as Jasmine and her followers approach. They listen to a radio announcer reporting that the mayor has named LA a citadel of Jasmine. In her suite, Jasmine has several of her followers come to her while Connor wakes from his unconsciousness. Restored by feeding on her followers, Jasmine heals Connor and then reassures him that they'll deal with Angel and the others. Wesley pulls up to a gas station. While a gun fills the car, the others are attacked by by people at the station speaking with Jasmine's voice, which isn't creepy at all. Once the car is filled,
Oh no, he's perfectly fine.
Once the car is filled, they all take off, and I don't think they actually had enough time to fill the gas tank because they were only there about 30 seconds. But, whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky with trying to pump gas while people are coming at you.
Yes. But police cars and other followers chase after them. Leaving the car behind, Angel leads the others down into the sewers, where they are surprised by a group of young kids who point sticks and makeshift spears at the gang. One of the kids recognizes Gunn and turns out to be Golden, the younger brother of one of Gunn's former crew members. Something causes their surroundings to shake, and the youngest of the crew, Matthew, warns that it's back. The kids guide Angel and the others into their hideout, which is secured by bars and makeshift gates. Angel grabs a weapon and directs his team to go out and help get rid of this unidentified monster. Connor goes to check on Jasmine, but finds that Cordelia is no longer in the bed. Jasmine explains that Cordy is in a safe space where her blood can't be used as a threat. Connor wants to go out and find Angel and the others, but Jasmine won't let him yet. Jasmine gouges her nails into Connor's hand as she demands that he let go of his pain and give it to her. As she releases his hand and Connor releases his pain, the wounds on his hand appear on hers as well. While searching for the creature in the sewers, Golden is grabbed and pulled up into a high tunnel, but Angel flies up after him and saves him. Angel returns with his vampire face and scares Matthew into running away. Fred and Gunn chase after him, and Angel realizes that Wesley has been taken while they weren't looking. Fred and Gunn chase after Matthew as they talk about feelings. They start to talk about when they killed the professor and how much it hurts them both. They arrive on the surface and carefully scour the streets for Matthew, finding him in an alley. He refuses to return with them, so Gunn simply knocks the boy unconscious. Fred is stunned by the action, but helps Gunn carry the boy back anyway. Angel tells Lauren to stay with the others while he goes to find Wesley, but in light of Angel's newly discovered demon side, Golden and the others are not keen on the idea of letting Angel out of their sight alone. With spears pointed at him, Angel doesn't bother trying to defend his nature, saying that he wouldn't be able to, and instead points out that if he chose, he could simply kill them all without any real difficulty. A demonic crab-like creature approaches Wesley, proclaiming that his kind loved her first. Once Wesley realizes that a demon is talking of Jasmine, the demon scolds Wesley for giving her a name, then scurries off to work on a massive flesh and bone against a wall, cutting and stitching together the body of a vampire. Wesley questions where the demon is from, and he points out a blue sphere that's the key to his dimension, but warns that the dimension is not one a human can survive. The demon explains that he's working on blood magic, not magic that consists of words. The vampire trapped in the sadistic web asks to just be killed, but the demon instead rips its tongue out. Wesley realizes that there is a word that can hurt Jasmine, her name, but the demon refuses to provide it and instead prepares to kill him, but Angel arrives in time to stop it, eventually managing to kill the demon. Lauren lectures the rest of the gang about hurtful words just before Gunn and Fred return with Matthew, who begins to laugh in Jasmine's voice, which turns the others on Gunn, Fred, and Lauren, and the three run for their lives. Before they can get far, though, they run into Connor and a group of military men who back him up. Wesley grabs the blue orb and explains the other dimension to Angel. While he ponders a way to make it work for them, Angel senses danger and Connor's presence. As Connor and Jasmine sense Angel in a return, Angel signals the other to him and Wesley. Wesley figures blood magic is the answer to working the orb and uses a cut on his head as the source. A portal opens before them, and while the others hold the door against Connor and the soldiers, Angel reluctantly takes the orb from Wesley and moves through the portal as the others finally release the door and prepare for a battle, which is made more difficult because all the damage inflicted to the soldiers is healed by Jasmine instantly, making her followers practically immortal. Meanwhile, Angel finds himself in another dimension, surrounded by the spider demons. So, what did we think of this episode, Dave?
Ooh. just a marvelous case of out of one frying pan into the other frying pan, and then just into a complete fire pit. Just, oh boy, all the particular stuff that went on with this. It was interesting, though, that they actually ran into a case of people that went into hiding because of the sun being blotted out and not even really catching on to how things were kind of going.
Yeah, it's interesting because Matthew does mention, like, oh, you didn't tell me the sun was back, which means that they've been underground for a long time.
Yeah, for a bit. When shit got crazy, they kind of went underground, was ready for the apocalypse and whatnot from there. But I think at the very most with this particular episode, the two particular things running was, of course, Connor. Oh boy, Connor. Like from the last episode, he supposedly sees what Jasmine is.
Yes.
Again, supposedly. there hasn't been any sort of point of seeing from his point of view what he sees. But just with all the shit that's kind of been going on and how he usually functions, he does not want to follow along with anyone else's plans. If he's going to follow anyone's advice, it's going to be only his own and or who he believes in. And sadly, it's Jasmine.
Yes. We will learn more about his relationship with Jasmine in the next 2 episodes. But did you ever play The Last of Us?
With The Last of Us, ugh.
Did you play it?
Yeah, I played through it. Yes.
Okay. Did you notice that the spider demon sounds a lot like the clickers?
Yeah, with a couple particular noises and other things from there.
It,
But
it was like the first thing I noticed. I'm like, oh, that sounds like the clickers from The Last of Us.
no, with that, but especially with that particular demon, it's almost a little bit plot conveniency.
Oh, it
But
definitely is. Yeah.
but on the whole, it's definitely also interesting of bringing an idea of a different type of magic to affect certain things by using bodily fluids and other sorts of stuff like that. And it was a bit of interesting. It's just like, I'm Wesley in this sort of situation. You have information, tell me everything.
I also really like the design of the demon. I think it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's creepy as shit, but it looks really good.
Yeah, that's true, and that's after he supposedly got specific limbs or other things cut off of him. So
Yeah, it's such a good design. Alrighty. So,
went
international.
through the portal. It's like, oh, there's all of these things. Hmm.
Yes. International titles for this. We do have a few. So in Czech, it is Beast, and in
Eh.
German, it is The Last of Their Kind.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. This was a good episode, and we're gearing up for the final two of season 4. Do you have any idea, any theories about what might happen this season yet?
So it's essentially either going three ways. One way is that it's going to go the typical action adventure sort of way, where hopefully everyone in the giant match with everyone or with the military at the end doesn't immediately get killed but captured, and then Angel comes in, saves the day, has the solution to all the stuff, and all the things explode. The other sidetrack to that is that they're just going to pull random bullshit out of their ass to kind of supposedly save the day. Or the third option is it's supposedly going to come down to the wire, and there's just going to be absolute insanity that's going to be going on.
Okay. So I will give you a slight spoiler, although I think you've probably figured out they are going to defeat Jasmine. My question is, who do you think is going to be the one to do it, though?
That's an interesting sort of question. Again, with being that option, the other particular things that it'll do.
Because Jasmine isn't really so much a physical threat as she is, like,
Spiritual.
yeah, spiritual or intellectual.
Mm-hmm. Again, I can kind of see a case with just about everyone. Like, lowest on the list would probably be Gunn, but no, I also wouldn't be surprised if maybe even Connor was just kind of playing the long con to supposedly win the day. And if that's the case, hooray! He doesn't easily get brainwashed, but still the case of you could have maybe let us be informed on your flippant plan.
Yeah, that could happen. It seems kind of unlikely because it seems like he's pretty much on Jasmine's side right now, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it's one of those cases.
It definitely is. So, until next time. Oh, actually, we should read a quick synopsis for the next episode. Alrighty. Okay, So Angel goes on a mission to find proof that his son Connor isn't simply a vessel designed to bring the evil Jasmine, who is hell-bent on destroying everyone in the world. Meanwhile, Connor goes in search of the missing Cordelia.
Yeah, because that's a big thing within this episode. Since the particular thing within my head is, I wouldn't be surprised if Jasmine ate her mommy.
That is definitely possible, and would sure piss a lot of people off because Cordelia was a great character.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't think there's anything else about this episode. So until next time, I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.